Hey everybody, what's good? How are you? Happy Friday, happy Fri-Yayyy. I'm Nicole. Today is Friday, September 20th, 2024, and I'm here to tap in with you for today's Mahogany Moment. I hope you guys are doing well, everybody. So I'm already ready to dive into the message, and everything that is happening has been led by the divine. I'm so cognizant and aware of that, right? All the experiences that we have, there's always a lesson in everything. And so I debated whether or not I wanted to share this with you, but Spirit kept saying yes. So I'm going to share. I was led to grab, and for this message today, I was led to grab colored paper, and particularly 3 colors. And, 3 colors that I was told I saw and was told to grab. So I grabbed those 3 colors that I had. And Spirit said, just you'll know when once I start recording, I'll shuffle my papers, I could do whatever. And the paper that it's supposed to be on, that color it will be on that color, but there's a particular reason why. So I have all my writing utensils out here, and I'm just gonna get started. So my eyes are closed. I'm just gonna shuffle. I don't know what order the papers are in or what have you, but. I'm going to take a deep breath, and then I'm going to choose where I feel like I am being led. All right, Spirit. Which paper do you want me to choose? Okay. This one. This is the color. All right. And the interesting thing that it turns out to be this color is because this was the very first color that Spirit showed me. And the reason why that I was shown this color, it's a fluorescent orange paper. So it's like the neon brights, but it's the orange color of that. And the reason that I was shown this message is because this message is so important. And it's like waving a flag. It's like when you're driving and you see the construction workers with the bright fluorescent colors so that everybody can see it, right? This is how important this message is for whenever you receive it and whoever receives it. So this morning, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, and that kind of plays into why I'm so exhausted of the message for today. So I was up last night doing something for my daughter, right? And it took us way past our bedtime. So intentionally, I was like, I just need to rest. I'm not gonna, I said I need to sleep in, so I get up whenever I get up, right? So I got up and I woke her up. It just so happened to be the time that I would normally wake her up is when I woke up. And so I went and woke her up or whatever, and, she got ready for her day. But anyway, so I noticed when she, came downstairs for breakfast, to get herself ready for the morning before we head out, she was a little upset and down or what have you, and I was like, what's wrong? And she wouldn't say what's wrong, and I was like, what's wrong? And I was like, you don't like XYZ, I knew I figured what it was. And she's like, no. And I was like, why not? And she just does it. She's like, I just don't. And I was like, no, you know the reason why. I was like, why don't you? And I was really encouraging her to love all of herself, right? Speaking life over her and into her, because I could see that she was a little down about this particular thing. And what that is, it doesn't matter to you guys, because I want to protect her privacy as well. And but what I said, and the message is, and that Spirit wants to share with you guys, is your insecurities are an illusion. And I just automatically grabbed this pen, so I have everything out here, but I'm just gonna write. Okay, so today's gonna be a little different. I'm just gonna grab, but that's the first thing that I have to write, because that was immediately. Okay, so your insecurities are an illusion, is the first thing that Spirit wanted me to share with you. All those things that you're insecure about, they're just falsehoods, right? They're illusions. They're illusions that are blocking you from being who you truly are and what you are supposed to be in your purpose, right? And so I was trying to pour love into her, like I said, and she was just not having it. She was in a bad mood. She was just grumpy or what have you. And so, I was talking with my mom about it, and we're talking to my mom, and my mom is like, you know, what's wrong or what have you, and she's, you know, and she looks at me and she identifies exactly what the issue is. Like she knew. She's like, she doesn't like da 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 da. And I said, exactly. And she's like, you know, she's telling her, she's like, you have to love, she's like, you have to learn to love all of you, and, you know, and know that you are just you. And that's exactly what I told her this when I said, you are just you, you're uniquely you. All these things that you're worried about, or you think that people are worried about, these are just insecurities that are blocking you. They're just fake. They're falsehoods. They're illusions. They're fake. You know, they're false. They're not real. These are just illusions. They're not real. And the sooner that you recognize that, once you start loving all of that, and once you start embracing who you are, everything will fall into place. You won't have these feelings. You won't feel this way, right? But these are just some insecurities that are illusions. And I told her, I said, you know, everything you have is within you, like inside and out. Like you, everything is there, you know? And I just was really trying to drive that home to her, is that, you know, you have to truly embrace who and what you are, and know that everything that you have is already within you, just waiting to be poured out. And I would just really, Spirit just really wanted me to share that with the collective this morning, you know. And it's important because I feel like we let these insecurities just stop us and hinder us from so many things, right? And yes, she's a teenager and they go through their things, and we all had something that we did not like about ourselves, or we didn't love about ourselves, right? And as we've gotten older, hopefully, prayerfully, you have learned to accept you as you are, right? Flaws and all, you know, whatever the flaws are that you see within yourself, love them. Why? Because there has to be balance in all things. There's light and there's dark. There's end and there's beginning. It's a cycle. Life is a cycle, okay? I'm just gonna start writing some things down, right? And so it just, I got colored pencils. Remember yesterday I said I need to get some more, I need to refresh? Well, it just so happens I was running an errand for my kid. Yes, I was running an errand for her. She's like, Mommy, I need da 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 da, and I need you to pick it up, you know. And so while she was at school, I ran her errands for her. She's 14, right? So anyway, so I ran her errands for her, and in running her errands for her, I was right by a Five Below. I was like, oh. I said I needed something there. What did I say I needed? I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot remember. And I was sitting there trying to remember. And as soon as I got to the curb, I was like, oh, color pencils. So I went to Five Below and I grabbed some color pencils. So, yeah, I'm just going to jot down some of the things, you know, the words and phrases and all that I'm hearing. Because, like I said, Spirit is really encouraging me to go ahead and dive into this message and everything. Anyways, yeah, so what I was saying is this, like, I have all the resources I need inside and out. Okay, you have all the resources that you need inside and out, inside of you and outside of you, within you, all of you. It's all there. Everything you need is within you. Okay. And I told her, you know, I said, listen, you are gorgeous just the way you are. I said, you're gorgeous inside and out. Okay. And it's funny, Spirit said to tell y'all how I said what I, so the reason about me debating whether I was going to share talk about this on camera. And it was because I don't play about my baby. Everybody knows, right? And so this is part of the message too. I don't play about my kid, right? That's the one, fuck around and find out. You will find out. And I was wondering, like, where's that little spark within my little baby girl? Because she's had it, and she's always been feisty, right? And I remember when she was probably in, I don't know, it was early education eras, childhood education years. But I remember she told, there was a couple things that happened. So one was she told one of the kids, she's like, my mom fight kids, right? She was like, don't mess with me, my mom will fight kids. And what she meant by that was, it's true. Like, I listen, I don't care how old you are. If you are bringing harm to my child, we will have a problem, period. I said what I said, and I mean what I say. The next thing is, I have a particular nickname that I call her, right? And I called her that, and one of her friends, about this time she was probably in like 3rd grade, and one of her friends had called her that, right? And she stopped dead in her tracks, and she was like, don't call me that. And they were like, what? Da, da, da. They said it again. And she's like, I said, don't call me that. She's like, the only person that's allowed to call me that is my mom. She's like, that's between me and her. You don't get to call me that, right? And I was like, yes. I never even, and I didn't even know that she felt that strongly about it, me calling her, because I've called her this since she was a baby, right? This is a nickname that I have for her. And I've called her that. And so her friend thought it would be funny. And so she was so firm in her boundary then, right? And she was so like, no, this is not, I don't care. Like, you trying me right now. And I'm like, where's that same spark within my little baby girl that she had in 3rd grade? Now that she's, in this teenage phase, where is that gone? I know it's still within her. It hasn't disappeared, right? It's still there. And I just want her to be herself, and let all of that show all of that. And, another thing that was, she used to be like really, really sassy, she still is, but I realized that her sassiness is more so like toned down, or it's more so like within family. Like if we're, at a family event or gathering, whatever, she shows her little sassiness, her silliness, so show your sassy. Show your sassy, right? And, I feel like no matter what those insecurities are that we have, like what Spirit is saying, it kind of ties into the message that we had earlier this week is, hold on, I just lost that thought, but Spirit's going to bring it back to me. Yes, invisible, about don't be invisible, right? See, I told you it was for red because it's important. Don't be invisible, right? Because there's only one you, and you should just be you. And don't dim or hide because you're afraid of those insecurities, right? And the Spirit's now drawing my attention to my shirt and me, the fact that it's Prince, right? Think about Prince, like, oh my God, Prince is my favorite artist ever, right? Just hands down. But think about his energy, right? He was so liberated. He was so free. He was always him. There was nobody else that was like Prince or can ever do it like Prince. He was an original, okay? Like, he owned every fucking part of himself. He owned it unapologetically, right? He owned it unapologetically, right? And Spirit really wants us to own ourselves. Who we are unapologetically. Okay, like own who we are unapologetically. And that's all of us. Even as adults, there's something that we are insecure about, or something that we may have feel flawed about. And why is that? Like, what is that? What is that thing stemming? And I know in my daughter what it is, why the issue is the way that it is, right? And I'm trying to tell her and show her that there's a reason that she's different. She was meant to shine. I said, listen, if you looked like everybody else, you would just blend in, right? But no, you were made to shine, you were made to sparkle, you were made to be seen, right? And in being seen, it's why you are the way that you are, right? You look the way that you look. Because there's nobody else that is you but you, right? There's nobody else that has all the things that you have within you. They may have little bit of parts, and you may have other parts of other people and other things, but there's nobody that is 100% designed like you. None of us, right? We're all created differently, but we're all unique. We all have something special about us, right? And so even the things that we feel make us odd or awkward or different are what makes us special, okay? That is what is the true essence of a unique aspect of us, okay? Whether it's something physical, whether it's something emotional, whether it's something, intellectual, whatever it is, you were made the way you were for a reason, right? And so your purpose is to let all of you be seen and not to be invisible to anything. Like, don't be invisible, okay? Be seen, okay? Let yourself be seen. Let your light shine. And I was really thinking about, when Spirit was talking to me, and what I heard, what I saw is like the magician. If you think about the magician, right? In the tarot deck, for example, the magician, I cannot speak. The magician is card number 1, right? And the magician is holding a wand, right? Because you have all the magic already. You are just bringing it down, okay? It was already given to you in your birthright. You are just bringing all of your magic down. You're bringing it down into you and sharing it, right? So be the magician, wave your wand, shine, let your magic shine, okay? So, you're magical. Okay, and yeah, so like I said, I really just had to share this message with you guys because there's somebody that's out here that's struggling to embrace who they are fully, and I know it's tough. It feels like, and it feels shitty right now. And just like I feel, for our baby girl, like I just want her, I can tell her all day long, just like my mom was saying, she's like, listen, we can tell you, but you got to believe that within yourself. And the sooner you believe that and embrace that, things will be easier. Why? Because you're not looking for approval or expectation or exception from anybody else, right? Outside of you. You're not looking for approval of anybody, right? You are looking to satisfy who you are, who you feel you are, and what you're here to do. You're not trying to be like anybody else. And that's what, my mom and I were really stressing to her and really trying to get her to understand. And I said, so I told her she's gorgeous inside and out. And I said, I want you to know that. I said, I know that you are, and I want you to know that. But the same little spicy, kid that was in there and was able to speak her voice and set her boundaries and with authority, and she was in such conviction, she was like, do not call me that, that is only for my mom. Only my mom can call me that, and I think about and another thing with her was she had an incident. This goes back to elementary school as well. She had an incident on the bus where I think she was in first grade. Yeah, she was in first grade. She was having an incident on the bus where an older kid, like a 5th grader or what have you, was like picking on her. And so, she was like, stop picking on me, whatever she was saying, stop picking on me. And the 5th grader continued. So we had a routine where I would meet her at the bus stop. Like, that's my thing. That's our thing. I would meet her at the bus stop. And so I met her at the bus stop, and she got off the bus, and she like looked like she was about to cry. And I was like, what's wrong? And she told me what was wrong. And I was hot, right? She's like, he's messing with me, whatever. So I went over to the 5th grader and I said, how old are you? Right? I was like, how old are you? And he was like 12 or whatever. I can't remember, whatever 5th grade age is. And I said, what grade are you in? And he said, I'm in 5th grade. And I said, okay, you're in 5th grade. I said, do you know how old she is? And he was like, no. I said, tell him how old you are. She's like, I'm 6. And I said, tell him what grade you're in. And she's like, I'm in 1st grade or whatever. And I said, do you know how old I am? And he's like, no. So I tell him how old I am, right? And I said, and I'm an adult. I said, now, if I, as an adult, I said, you see me as an adult, right? He said, yeah. I said, now, if I were to call you names and pick on you, would that make you feel good? Would you like that? I said, because I'm taller than you. I'm short, but I was taller than this 5th grader. So for all my family that got jokes, because I know everybody, my friends, they know I'm short. Like, I'm short. Listen, all my friends are tall, but I'm short. And it's okay. The short one be the one to pop off. It's all right, because I can get the kneecaps. I can get all the things that all the tall. Y'all up here, I will handle where I can reach, okay? And my reach stretched high, okay? Just fuck around and find out. But anyway, so I said to him, I was like, you know, I said, you see that I'm an adult right now. If I were to call you names, I'm picking on you, would that make you feel good? And he was like, no. I said, why do you think that wouldn't make you feel good? Not because it would be bad, but why would that not make you feel good? And he was like, because you're an adult and I'm a kid, right? So, and he saw where I was going with it, because this is where I was going with it. I said, I'm an adult and you're a kid. I said, however, you're a kid, right? But you are older than she is. And how do you feel being as tall as you are? Now, if I were to lean over you, I said this to him, I didn't do it, but I said, if I were to lean over you and was saying and pointing at you like how you were doing to her when you guys were on the bus, if I was doing all that to you as an adult now, would you feel good or would you feel afraid? And I said, would you like, if you felt that way, would you like it if I did that to you? And he was like, no. I said, well, then here's the lesson. I said, don't do that to anybody else. If you don't want that done to you, don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to them. I said, but the same way that you think it's inappropriate or wrong because I'm an adult to do that to you, it's wrong for you to do that to her. I said, she's a kid as well. You know, she's in first grade. You're hovering over her. I said, that's very, you know, that's very threatening and scary to a kid. You know, I said, because you're taller. I said, and also, you know, the fact that you guys are, this is new, you know, it's a new experience, you know, first grade, whatever, because kindergarten, she was just half a day, but now you're in school, you know, for the full day or what have you. So I explained that to him. I said, and you wouldn't like it if I did that to you and called you names and made you feel badly about yourself, right? I said, and somebody may have done that to you, and that's not nice either. I said, but just because something bad may have been done to you doesn't mean you have to do that to somebody else, right? So this was when she was in first grade. So, you know, I said that to the student, and I told her, I said, listen, I said, Mama's gonna handle it, but I also want you to be able to speak up for yourself. And that, like I said, that was in first grade. So when she got to third grade, that's when she was speaking up for herself and telling that individual, don't call me that. That's only from a reserve for my mom. Like, that's our thing. Like, nobody can call me that except for my mom. The same way she, you know, and so I know that it's in there because this is something that I've seen her demonstrate, right? So right now, as she's going through this phase and this battle and struggling with, you know, with owning her power, right? And owning her voice and just walking so confidently in that. Like, I'm feeling like, you know, just walk confidently in who you are. Okay? Walk confidently in who you are. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like as parents, you know, we try to pour into our kids and, you know, really just give them all the tools. And I say this to her, it's like, it's not my job to fight every battle for you, but what my job is to teach you how to think, how to analyze, how to think critically, how to use your voice, how to stand up for yourself, how to show you through the way that I am, you know. And she always thinks, but it's easy for you to, she's like, Mommy, you can say anything. It's easy for you to say anything. And it's not. I said, oh, it's not. I said, it's not easy for me to say anything. I said, I'm very direct in what I say and I'm very blunt. I said, and sometimes a lot of times I have to say things that are difficult, and I know delivery is everything. However, the way that I deliver things sometimes seems so blunt and cut because I don't like time for nonsense and I don't like wasting time because you cannot ever get your time back. So I'm not going to sit around and bullshit and go back and forth. I'm going to tell you what it is, how I feel, whatever, in one shot. Like, it is what it is. You're going to hear it. If I feel a ways, you're going to hear that I feel a ways. If I don't feel a ways, then I don't feel a ways, and I'll tell you I don't feel a ways. But I will always express myself, right? And it's circling me back to her saying, you always say whatever you want or whatever. And I think about the times when I got the most upset, I've been the most angry or irritated. And it was always when somebody was trying to stifle my voice. Why? Because I feel like when you're trying to stifle my voice, you're like not allowing me to be me. And I am going to say what I have to say. So that's the worst thing you could do is ever try to tell me to not say something or not do something by using my voice. Matter of fact, there was a situation where I had written a post a couple of years ago and I was expressing myself. And like I said, words, you know, whatever, words are a lot to me and meaningful, and, you know, writing is my thing. And I was just expressing, you know, the event and the emotion and everything that was going on with what I was sharing in my post. And the word that I use is so funny. This word seems to be a theme. The word that I used was fuck, right? I'm just gonna write it. I'm gonna grab it. And it just comes with this word. right? The word that I said was fuck, right? Actually, I think it was like fucking, right? Or like, you know, it's so fucking good or whatever. It was like exciting seeing how amazing something was, right? But there was like fucking, right? But this word seems to be a theme and it seems to trigger a lot of people, right? So somebody took it upon themselves to send me an inbox message and saying, oh, you know, I was reading your post and it was so well written. And I was like, oh my gosh, this looks like a professional, you know, curator wrote this piece. And it was just, and then I saw the word fucking and I was like, oh my gosh, Nicole, like how did, it would just ruin your piece. And I was like, bitch, what? Like, she was like, it ruined your piece because you used the word fuck. And this is the part that really pissed me off. Is she says, and you have to realize that you have a daughter, so you can't use language like that. First of all, this person didn't even have kids or doesn't even have kids. That's number one. So secondly, so I sat with it and I was like, okay, that's how you feel. But see, and they was like, well, you know, if you want to correct it, it's okay to go and correct it because, you know, you're a leader and you're a voice and people are looking up to you and you're supposed to be walking this path of da 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 da. And I said, oh, no, they said you're supposed to be walking this path of being, you know, of God and being of Christian, this, you know, and embracing that. I said, listen, first of all, you can't tell me what my path is and what path I'm embracing, okay? I adhere to a lot of things. Did you stop to ask me what my beliefs are? Do you know that I subscribe to many things? There's not just one religious practice that I subscribe to or that I incorporate. I incorporate so many different things. You can't classify it, right? Because it's what works for me. So first of all, to tell me what my path is you're fucking out of bounds, out of lines. That's number one. Secondly, to tell me that I ruined something that I created because of a word that I use, it's my fucking creativity. You can't tell me what's ruined. You don't have that authority. You don't have the right to tell me that something's ruined because I created the shit. So if I fucking created it, it's of me. You can't. It has nothing to do with you. It's my fucking creation. That's number two. Thirdly, you can't tell me that because I use a certain word, I'm a bad influence on my child. Listen, I said that's number three, right? I said, and also life is fucking colorful and so are my words. That was my exact quote. And if you don't like what I say, you can always unfollow or unsubscribe. Okay, straight like that. And the person was like, God bless you, yada, yada, yada. God bless you, Nicole. Great, fantastic. God bless you too, deuces, right? Because here's the thing. You got to set clear boundaries. And that goes back to what Carly was doing. And what I'm saying is, right, you cannot allow other people to tell you what is for you. That is within you to discover. And that is within you to show and share with the world. And share and not let anybody try to make you feel guilty for that, try to make you feel less than for that, try to make you feel like you're not worthy of something or whatever, okay? You take your fucking power back, okay? And the word seems to aggravate and trigger so many people. Why? Why does it do that? Because you're offended by it? Well, guess what? Stop being offended by every fucking thing. Don't be offended by every fucking thing. How about that? How about figure out your own shit before you start telling somebody else what they're supposed to do, okay? And so when I relayed that message, the person then unfollowed, and I was like, well, fucking fantastic. Guess what? You don't have to subscribe to my creativity and who I am because it's offensive to your eyes, the words that I use, and you don't have to experience the pleasure that comes from my creativity because you're offended by it. You don't get to have bits and pieces of it. No, you're either going to take it all as I am or none at all. And that's what I'm trying to share with my child and share it with the collective, because somebody needs to get this message and somebody needs to stand in their power and let other people know. You can't let somebody stifle you. You can't let somebody tell you what words to use or what words not to use. You can't be responsible for what others are seeing or experiencing because of their preconceived notions, because of their experiences. Their experiences are their experiences. Your experiences are your experiences. And if you are living your life authentically and who you are, and that triggers other people, well, again, guess what? That is something that they need to work on. Because if you're truly doing what you feel called to do and in the way that you feel to do it, expressing yourself in the way that you feel to express yourself, there is nobody that should be telling you that that is not allowed or that you're doing it wrong. And if you're holding on to that, and if that is the life that you're living, please release that. Please let that go. Life will be so much easier for you when you stop trying to place yourself under everybody else's expectations. Okay, Spirit really wants me to drive this message home. Stop living up to the expectations of others. Okay, stop. That is not what you're here to do. Okay, live up to your own expectations. Do you have expectations of yourself? That is what you focus on, not what everybody else does, and not trying to be like everybody else, because there's only one you. Okay, so I'm not sorry if I sounded really passionate or intense, because this is how this message had to come through. Yes, I'm passionate about it. Yes, I'm intense about it, because we need to be, right? We need to be. So yeah, just do not try to live up to other people's expectations. You set your expectations. You are the one who knows what works for you and what doesn't work for you, right? Walk in your power. Stand firm in your convictions and what you believe, right? And not everybody's going to agree with that, and that is okay. That's okay, because guess what? Everybody serves a purpose, of a season, a reason in your life, right? So whatever it is that they were there to get, or there to learn or take away, let them get it and take it away, and you keep going forward in the way that you're supposed to go forward. Okay? Yeah, don't let anybody tell you, stifle you. All right? Don't let anybody stifle you. And I'm writing the number 1 because there's just one you. Even if you are a twin, triplet, whatever, if y'all are identical, there is still only one you. You guys may share similar characteristics physically or what have you, but there's something unique about you still, okay? There's something unique in all of us. And that uniqueness is what makes you special. That uniqueness is what makes you you. That uniqueness is what this world needs, okay? They need you to be you and not anybody else. And be your own fucking role model. You know, it's funny because I remember when I was working out with a personal trainer a time back. And she was like, so who are your body goals? Like, who do you want to look like? And I said, my own damn self, like in whatever, height, weight, whatever. And she's like, so I showed her my picture and I was like, this is what I want to get back to. She's like, there's nobody you want to look like. I said, no. I said, this is what I want to get back to, myself. And she was like, I know that's right. I said, yeah, because why am I attaining to be somebody else? And I know what I am capable. I know what I'm capable of, right? I'm not trying to attain to what somebody else is. I'm trying to attain to what is within me, the best that I have to give, all of me. It's coming out, it's growing, it adapts and it evolves, right? And as I change, I want to be more of me just in this way. I want to get back to a healthier me. And this was a healthier me. And so that's what my goal is getting back to myself, coming back to myself, not anybody else. And she was like so impressed by that. And I was like, no, I was like, well, I said, everybody is looking at everybody else and saying, oh, I want to look like this person, this celebrity, I want to look like this singer or whatever. No. Now everybody's walking around looking like, because they got to build a body. And I'm not judging, but I'm literally saying everybody's got to build a body because they want to look like everybody else instead of embracing the parts of them that they have and that they love, okay? So there's only one you, and embrace that, okay? So I wrote the number 1 and that was what I was feeling, okay? I'm writing the words uniquely you. right? I wrote there was uniquely you, right? And it's connecting the Y in you is connecting to the V in the heart. Like it's uniquely you, all right? And so this is what Spirit just really wanted me to share. And like I said, I would debated whether I want to talk about it because I'm protective of my child. But I feel like, you know, I didn't divulge anything, you know, and I know, like I said, I know it's within her and she's growing through her phrase. However, I feel like as adults, some of us still carry those things with us. You know, some of us are holding on to things that we experienced, like names that we were called when we were younger, bullying that we experienced. Some of us are still holding on to that, right? And it's time to release it, okay? It's time to release your pain. Okay, it's time to release your pain, everybody. And so, Spirit, is there anything else? Yeah, okay, so now Spirit's telling, I'm drawn to, so on my desk, well, I've got a whole bunch of crystals here, but this one is Moroccan Amber. It's a heart, actually. I'm gonna grab this one. And you look up that crystal, okay? Okay, there's a Moroccan Amber crystal. And if I am I'm pretty sure this is right. I'm pretty sure the Moroccan Amber is connected to strength. And so I'm pretty sure that it is. And if so, be strong. This is what Spirit is saying. Just be strong, guys. Be strong and when I say strong, it doesn't mean like, oh my gosh, I have to go through all that. No. Be strong in your power of who you are, okay? Be strong in using your voice. Be strong in being you, okay? Nobody can tell you how to be you or what is right for you. Love you, okay? Love you. Love you, okay? And is there anything else you want me to share? Spirit? No, I think that's all. Yeah, that's all that I have for the collective. I really just want to encourage you guys. So if this is something you're struggling with, and it's so, now that I look on my hand, I'm literally holding, this is the moon on when Carly, the night when she was born, the day when she was born, and then the one when I was born, right? So what's so significant is it was a blue moon for her, right? How often is there a blue moon, right? And so just like she was born within that energy of the blue moon, like she is so special, right? So own your specialness, own your uniqueness, and don't let the insecurities create, you know, everything that's a reality for you. They're just illusions, okay? Those insecurities are just illusions, and those illusions are just hindering you from moving forward. They're blockages in your path, and it's time to release that and clear that out, all right? And really, really, really just be the best you that you can be, all right, guys? So, you know, that's all. If you guys are experiencing anything like that, or you have children who are experiencing or going through like these little growing phase or pains, and you know, within their own lives, just really try to pour it into them as best as you can. Pour into yourself as best as you can, and work at it. You know, work at whatever that thing is that you're hung up on, that, you know, you're so hung up on, but it's so insignificant into the great scheme of all that makes you fucking fantastic, okay? So let your little light shine, let your creativity flow, you guys, and have an incredible weekend. I love you. This was great. I hope that you guys enjoyed this today's channeling session. And this is what the artwork looks like. It will be in the video. And I'm just gonna I'm feeling led to color, but I'm just gonna sit here and just color it. So the finished product will be in the video. Okay, love you guys. Take care. Bye.